Okay, here we are in the vessel sink. Out of the cabinet or off of the top of the cabinet. This is the style of tailpiece that I wanted and drain that I wanted. I like the one push to plug, unplug, plug, unplug. And this whole thing is one solid unit. Like that. Just got an O-ring on it. And the receptacle is what stays in the sink. But, you know, day to day, you want to plug the sink, you want to unplug the sink. If you get some hair, you want to clean it, you can just take this entire cavity out, and that's a clear opening to snake it or to inspect it or whatever else. It's a nice arrangement. So I got that in the sink, and that just sandwiches the porcelain like this on this threaded tube with a big nut and a rubber gasket on both sides. And then you have the rest of the tailpiece. That's like the drain itself, and this, I guess, is the tailpiece. So this has a capture nut. It has a flange end on it and a capture nut, and it's got this little rubber gasket that has a shoulder. Hang on. You notice the gasket is shouldered over to channel the material down in there, so he goes on there, and then this whole assembly threads onto the end of this like this until it becomes tight, and that all came in one package. So, like we were talking about before, I need this to be longer before we go to the P-trap and out to get me down, to keep that P-trap and everything below this surface here. This just isn't quite long enough. I bought some extensions, drop tube extensions, a 6-inch and a 12-inch one. I was hoping the 6 would do it so I didn't have to cut like I was saying. This can stay chromed. These are brass, these pipes. It's maritime metal, so it's not going to rust per se, but it will respond to acidity or basic qualities of the fluids and stuff. Eventually they rot out. But you can add this. You need another gasket, you need another capture nut. Notice this capture nut isn't as pretty as the other one is, and it's just another point of failure or whatever. So it's going to work to mock this up today, but what I am going to do, since I can't easily get one at the store, and I've already gone to the store a couple times, is order a new tailpiece. It'll just be, you know, you'll reuse this in the capture nut. It'll just be a longer section. So that'll be the cleanest way to extend this, and then we'll be in business there. So for now, we'll use the extension to mock it up, and we'll throw a new long tail piece in when that comes in the mail. Something else I wanted to show you. When I was in the store, I grabbed a bunch of these decorative plastic flanges. These are plastic, vacuum metallized to look chrome, so they actually attract metal particles to it with a different process. And this is the process that they use on your cell phone components and your car interior components that are truly mirror. See, you can see me in the phone there. It's a true mirror finish, and you can send parts and stuff out to get back metallized, but these are cheap. They're like $1.50, less than $2 each, depending on the size. I like to use them where I put one on here. It's nice because they split like that, and you can put them on an existing circuit, pipe circuit, and you don't have to break into the circuit. It just finishes that connection to the floor. It looks okay. There's a couple of these radiators in this apartment. I've done this elsewhere, but for a couple bucks you can just sneak these on, and when you clean the floor, obviously, and vacuum around and everything gets mopped in here and stuff, that just cleans up so much nicer. It's just a nice little touch to demonstrate some of the detail that you're interested in maintaining. Here's another location. Underneath this metal sink base is all rusted up. It didn't have any contact paper or anything. We are going to find a contact paper for these shelves, the shelves in there, the shelves up there, the little drawer that's in this table, that's complementary to the colors and paint scheme that we have going on in the kitchen. So this will also get that contact paper. And it's got these nice old copper drain lines. They just go to PEX underneath the floor. From the other video I made when I was plumbing yesterday, I went right to PEX underneath the floor. But this is nice looking under here. It doesn't have the red or the blue. It's clean, but these little decorative flanges that they've got have become corroded, and they don't quite cover the hole. So I got some more of these. I'm going to cut those with some tin snips and remove them, and I'll snap one of these fresh new guys that's bigger in footprint around him, and it'll completely cover the hole. And I got a couple little 1/2-inch fellas for there and there. They'll always look chrome because they are not really metal, and with new contact paper and 3 hot new chrome gaskets there, or finishing flanges. Obviously the floor repair and everything, but it's just those little details. You open this cabinet, you know, it's to be expected that it has some corrosion. It's to be expected that there is something like that going on. But with a little contact paper and $5 for plastic decorative flanges, it just looks that much nicer, and you can justify with all those little things together. In my opinion, you can start justifying higher and higher rental property cost. You can start, which automatically filters out low rent people who don't treat things with as much respect. And when they open this, there's an element, I think, psychologically speaking, when people open something up like that and they find a dingy space, or they find a lackluster space, or an area of the property that isn't that great, it gives them cause, or excuses them, I think, from treating the whole place, and especially that area, with less respect. But if everywhere you look, there's been some attention to detail and it's kind of taken care of, I feel like it helps psychologically reinforce that people should be taking care of the space. They pay good money for it, and that's my plan of attack. So whether or not that's the truth, time will tell. I've had good results. So I guess at this point now, it's a matter of deciding on where to drill. This is my original crosshairs for the sink position, and I'm going to move it back to half of an inch. Actually, move it toward myself half of an inch. I just want more space behind here to wipe the wall off, like I said, from toothpaste and soap scum. I want to be able to take a rag on your hand and go right back there and wipe the paint off, clean the walls, or if necessary, touch that up. If people feel that they want to do that, it doesn't become a pinch point. But when it comes to drilling, I was looking for, I'm going through the top of this vanity, maybe like 1.25 inches, almost 1.5 inches, and that sits at this surface. So we're talking about 1.5 inches or 1.25 inches up like that. And the problem is you're going to want to tighten this nut. I mean, I certainly can do it tight to the sink before I install it, and in the future, if I want to take it apart, or somebody else wants to take it apart, they could do it that way as well. But if you wanted to get tools in here, it would be a shame if we just drilled a hole big enough for this, which was what I was set up for before. This is the hole that I drilled for the plastic piping. It just only fits a little bit around that. This was the next greater size, which gives us a little bit more. But like I said before, once you drill a hole saw hole, you can't go bigger easily, because there's no material to get a hold of for a center point anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and just use this big guy. The next size I have is 6 inches, which I think is overkill. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I just can't bring myself to put that big of a hole in the top of that cabinet, even though it'll always be a sink cabinet now unless somebody makes a whole new top for it. We're going to go with this one. I think that'll give us enough space to work there, and we're going to send this through. The other thing I was going to mention is, because I need that hole on the same center line through this top, and I want it through here as well, the first thing I'm going to do is drill the whole thing just with a 1/4 inch bit, real nice and long, and keep the drill as plumb as I can, and go straight down through everything. And then I can use that center for the whole drill operation to the top, clean the whole drill out, throw that plug out, and then work through that hole, go right into the hole, same center hole left by this long bit that's down here, and continue on with the hole saw, and be sure that everything is on the same axis. So those are my plans, and we'll see how they work out and then get back to you.